Goldenberg honor that you're being honored. Say hi. Jordan, say
Hi. Mazel tov. Mazel tov to the honorees. Okay, I'll take it back.
smile for him. Hi.
Erev Tov, ladies and gentlemen, and Bruchim Habaim. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the annual tribute banquet of the Young Israel of Century City. I am proud to be your master of ceremonies this evening. Actually, the reason I'm the master of ceremonies is that I'm the cheapest MC they could find in the shul's banquet budget. And I am certain that each and every one of you will have a most enjoyable time tonight. I have a question for you. Let me see by a show of hands, how many of you ran the LA Marathon today? How many of you? Figures. Jews don't run. We walk, we krechetz, and we drive slowly. People were complaining to me, why is the banquet downtown? It's too far to drive. These people today ran 26 miles. I ran upstairs from the valet parking. I don't think I can drive 26 miles, nonetheless run it. Now, I don't know how many of you were stuck in the traffic or saw everybody after the marathon, but when they finished, if you saw them, they were all covered in aluminum foil. Kind of looks like the kitchen after the RCC has been through it. So if you got here by car, if you got here by foot, I'm glad to see you here tonight. There will be great food, soothing music, and wonderful comedy. This year, for a change, we're going to try something a little different. All of you go to banquets on a regular basis. If you are like me, at the end of the evening, all you hear from people is that the banquet was boring, too many speeches. Speech after speech after speech. Well, tonight, we are going to do something different for a change. There will be no speeches. No speeches whatsoever. We're just going to have tributes. Tribute after tribute after tribute. And after the tribute, there will be responses. And that will make it quite a party. Tonight, our gala celebrates the 32nd anniversary of our shul. My, how time flies. It's hard to believe that it's been 32 years, and it deserves celebration. A small shul that began with barely a minyan 32 years ago is now comprised of over 450 families, b'li ayin hara. We have witnessed the growth of the West LA Jewish community, and we are proud to be at the forefront of that growth. And tonight, the Young Israel of Century City celebrates its growth with our theme, From Generation to Generation. We are proud to honor Esti and Craig Levine, our Tribute Award honorees. It's the Levine's devotion to our shul that we recognize this evening. And we are thrilled to pay tribute to one of our founding families, Dr. George and Grace Fox, our Lifetime Achievement Awardees for all they have done for our community. And finally, our Young Leadership Award recipients are Shirley and Josh Platt, a wonderful young couple that are doing so much for our shul. These three couples are an inspiration to us all. You will, of course, hear more about our honorees throughout the evening. We thank you all for your attendance here tonight. You have made this a most successful banquet, and your participation and support of our Young Israel is greatly appreciated. Just a bit of housekeeping first. The silent auction of all the artworks that you saw out in the hallway will close tonight at 8 p.m. sharp. So put in your bids for the artworks in the lobby. Winners will be announced at 8 o'clock. As you can see on the stage, we've received a number of proclamations from the City of Los Angeles, the City Council, and from the County of Los Angeles to be presented to the Levines, the Foxes, and the Platts. They are beautiful awards, and they can take them home after the evening, and they are suitable for framing. To begin our evening, it is my pleasure to call upon Rabbi Elazar Muskin to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Young Israel's own Dr. Phil and his lovely wife, Dr. and Mrs. George Fox. Rabbi Muskin.
Recently, one of the members of our shul asked me, Rabbi, how does one pay tribute to such an accomplished couple as Dr. George and Grace Fox and properly assess a lifetime of achievement? Perhaps history can give us an answer. On Friday, April 9th, 1865, General Lee surrendered to General Grant at Appomattox, concluding the Civil War. On Sunday, April 11th, which coincided with the first day of Pesach, President Lincoln addressed the nation from the White House. 3 days later, on Wednesday, April 14th, Chol HaMoed Pesach, while attending a performance at the Ford Theater, President Lincoln was assassinated. A few days later, on April 19th, the funeral for President Lincoln took place. Throughout the nation, people gathered to mourn his loss. In Cincinnati, the foremost American rabbi of the time, Rabbi Max Lilienthal, a personal friend of President Lincoln and a supporter of the president, delivered a eulogy for the president. He concluded his remarks with the following statement. He said about President Lincoln, "He was great because he was good. He was good because he was great." Grace and Dr. George Fox are great because they are good, and they are good because they are great. Our shul has been blessed with their leadership ever since we began our shul in a hotel room on Beverly Drive. And today, we want to assess what Dr. George and Grace really mean to us. Perhaps I can use a statement, an observation, by the Chief Rabbi of Great Britain, Chief Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. He noted that when Bnei Yisrael, the Israelites, were on the brink of their release, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, gathered them together and he addressed them. It was a moment that would be one of the most important moments in the history of mankind. What did Moses speak to the people at that moment? He could have talked about liberty and the end of slavery, or he might have talked about the destination to which they were about to travel, the land flowing with milk and honey. Or he might have chosen a more somber discussion, and he could have talked about the journey that laid ahead and the dangers that they would face. Any of these topics would have been most appropriate for the moment. But Moshe Rabbeinu did something totally different. Instead, he spoke about children. He talked about education. And he repeated it 3 times. 3 times in just Chumash Shemos. He said, and then a 4th time in Devarim, he said, when your children will ask you, what do you mean by this right? You shall say, about to gain their freedom, the Israelites were told by their leader Moshe that they had to become a nation of educators. That's what made Moshe the greatest leader of all times. And that's why we call him Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe our teacher. What the Torah is teaching us, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs tells us, is that freedom is won not on the battlefield, nor in the political arena, nor in the courts, not national or international, but in the human imagination and the human will. To defend a country, you need an army. But in order to lead and create a free society, you need schools. You need families, and you need educators. And you need parents who are educators. Dr. George and Grace Fox are educators par excellence. Not only professionally, not only the fact that Canfield School is graced with Grace Fox, as she achieved the remarkable distinction of the longest tenured person in the school, or Dr. George's awesome achievements in counseling children with problems and helping 7,000 children in a magnificent career, being invited by 2 presidents of the United States to attend conferences on children at the White House, and training interns from 3 different universities. But Dr. George and Grace, your outstanding achievements are not only as professionals, but they are adored parents by 6 children, 19 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. Perhaps, however, for us, they've been our symbol of dignity and sincerity, commitment and loyalty to our shul. Dr. George has served longer than anyone else on the board of Young Israel of Century City. When Dr. George speaks at a board meeting, everyone listens. We listen to hear the words of wisdom, the words of a lifetime of achievement. And we love to hear him tell us, ladies and gentlemen, you have a special shul. Don't take it for granted. We look to Grace for real grace, for she is the example par excellence of what it means to be a volunteer and to help without any fanfare. She gets the job done, and she does it well. It was Grace who was the first one to create an emergency exit plan for our shul, if God forbid the need would be there. It was Grace who 22 years ago created the Yortzeit program so we could notify a family member about a Yortzeit. And it is Grace who Rebecca will call upon anytime we need help in the office, and Grace will be there. Indeed, Dr. George and Grace are founders of our very successful seniors program, which has inspired so many at their monthly meetings that are always educational and enjoyable. So how do we pay tribute to Dr. George and Grace and their lifetime of achievement? We think about education, and we realize that indeed our finest educators are sitting with us in our shul every Shabbos, and we are a very, very lucky community. It is my pleasure at this time to call upon our president, Seth Berkowitz, together with two founding couples, Dr. Larry and Wendy Platt and Dr. Sherwin and Rena Eisenberg, to make the presentation to Dr. George and Grace. Dr. George and Grace, please come forward.
We've chosen a gift that reflects both our great esteem and love for you and our appreciation for your lifetime of achievement as wonderful educators and leaders in our community.
A beautiful silver Havdalah set has been chosen for you, which is built like a home. This set represents our admiration for you, not only as outstanding parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents, but as leaders and builders of our collective home, our shul.
Our hope is that you will remember this tribute dinner in your honor every Saturday night for many years to come. Ad me'ah ve'esrim shana, in good health.
The plaque reads, Young Israel's Century City, Lifetime Achievement Award, presented to Dr. George and Grace Fox, March 2, 2008, the 25th of Adar Rishon, 5768, Elazar our Muskin Rabbi, Seth Berkowitz, President.
I have a brief response. First, I want to give everyone here a bracha. May they have as long and happy and productive a life as Gracie and myself, 59 years and counting, and as previously mentioned, we have 6 children, we have 19 grandchildren, and 6 7/8 great-grandchildren. And we feel very privileged. I want to make a statement that we have been working members and officers, and maybe no one here can say this, in Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox, but it's in our many years here that we have learned the importance and significance of Torah in our lives. And I want to close with a gematria. We were allotted 2 minutes to speak. That's 120 seconds. And I wish all of us 120 years of long life. Thank you.
How beautiful was that? Gives new meaning to young Israel. Let's hear it again for George and for Grace. So nice to see Sherwin and Rena up here, and Larry and Wendy, also founders of the shul. I don't know how many of you know this, but Larry and I sit together every morning at Minyan at 6:15 in the morning when Larry's in town. The two of us sit there, and he serves as Gabbai in the Minyan. We have Gabbayim throughout the shul. Kanahara, the shul has grown. There's a lot of Minyanim. My favorite story from one of the Gabbayim was, they went up to a man in shul and they said, "Tell me, we want to give you an aliyah. What's your name?" He said, "Esther Bas Moshe." So the Gabbai says, no, I mean your name. He says, no, that's my name. It's Esther Bas Moshe. The Gabbai says, how can that be your name? He says, well, I've been having some serious financial problems, and everything's in my wife's name. So You know, when we sit in that 615 minyan, and anybody who's been to our minyan can attest to it, certainly Larry, at the end of minyan, we get all of these mishalachim who come to us, these people from around the world collecting dollar bills from us at the end of davening. And there's always 3 or 4 of them, at least at the end of each morning. This past week, one came up to Larry, who was sitting next to me, and he said he was collecting for the Spinka Hasidim. Come on. So Larry gave him a $5 bill, and he asked him for $4 back. The chassid said, sorry, we don't do that anymore. Okay, come on, comedy is not pretty, okay? I also want to thank Seth Berkowitz. He was up here, not a founding member of the shul, but is doing a yeoman's job as president. Let's hear it for Seth. Now, we hope that all of you will enjoy this year's memento of our banquet. All of you got this when you came in this beautiful box. You take it out. A beautiful washing cup. It's great for al netilas yadayim, and you're going to cherish it in your homes for many, many years to come. We know we could have gotten you one made out of china or out of pottery, but this one is indestructible, okay? So, and it can be used as a planter if you want to use that, you can do that. Pencil holder if you want to do that, or a large coffee mug at Coffee Bean. About $14 to fill that up at Coffee Bean. You can use it as a cereal bowl if you'd like. Fill it up with the Friedman's Cholent on Shabbos. This is about all they give for the whole shul in here. And no, I'm just kidding. No. We love the Friedman's Cholent. Or you can use it, as a matter of fact, when you leave this evening, you can panhandle on Olive Street so that you can pay for this banquet. And seriously, no. Speaking of panhandling, our shul, the Young Israel Century City, is known for its chesed. We practice this charity and compassion every chance we get. And as a matter of fact, when I came to the hotel tonight, when I pulled up, I saw one of our members, a lady, interacting. There was a bum on the street. The bum comes up to her and says, "Lady, I haven't eaten in 3 days." So the lady said, "Force yourself." These are the kind of people we have at our shul, and we're proud of them. And we love them, and we love everybody. We hope you're going to love this as much as we love you guys. And this thing you can give, this is going to be in your families. I think, anybody going to use these things? I don't know, but you're going to love them, and we appreciate everybody for getting them. We thank the committee. Enjoy them. Ad Mea V'Esrim. George, this is going to last Ad Mea V'Esrim, your bracha. We appreciate it. It is now my pleasure to call up for all of your wonderful, wonderful dinner entertainment. A gentleman who has appeared throughout the United States. He is always at Disneyland and Disney World. On TV, he's been on Catch a Rising Star. He is one of America's funniest entertainers, and I'm proud to say that he just got a new deal on cable. They're going to be there tomorrow to install it. Please, let's welcome Mr. Chris Blackmore.
Thank you, Dr. Mark. Big round of applause for Dr. Mark. Yes, indeed. Oh, look at you all out there. We'll get started right away. I am a comedy magician, but I have a serious thing to start with. How many folks have ever seen a magician come out, take solid steel rings, link and unlink them in a magical way? Let's hear you, yeah. Good. That'll save some time. Now the rest of the show, we're here to talk to you about timeshare vacation ownership. I'm glad you, look at you out there. Show of hands. How many people are here tonight? About half. Lovely young lady up front there. What's your name, dear? Questions get tougher. I'm sorry, what was that? Are you okay? We're not going to have to do that VCR thing on you, are we? Eyes will be flashing. 12, 12. Just your name, very simple. Debbie, how lovely. That's my mother's name, Debbie, actually. Debbie, and where are you from? L.A., okay. And what do you do for a living, Debbie? You're a social worker. Fantastic. Debbie, Thank you. Debbie, I have right in my hand a bank envelope. Debbie, you familiar with these? They're used by... No, you're fine. You just get to sit there. You don't have to work hard, Debbie. These are used by banks and institutions to carry large sums of money. Okay? They use them because they're very tough and hard to open unless you know the secret. So, Debbie, having solved that, I want you to name a card out loud. There's no money in here. There's a deck of playing cards, a large deck. Do me a favor, name a card out loud, Debbie. 7 of clubs. You're sure about that? Because we have not pre-planned this, have we, Debbie? Take a look. All the cards in here are face up. Every single card is looking right back at you, each and every one of them. But as I go through, you'll see there's one card. They're wet. One card alone. Thank you, sir. Always take a picture while I'm fumbling. That's important. Thank you. One card is backwards in the entire deck. You said the 7 of clubs? The 7 of clubs, Debbie. Oh, whoopee. I know what you're saying. You're saying that Debbie and I planned this out. We worked this out in a previous time we got together. I realized that in a room with this many people, there will be a handful of skeptics here. So, just... skeptics. I'm sorry. I was never hooked on phonics. But this young lady, just real quick, what's your name, dear? Ruth? How lovely. That's my mother's name. Yeah. Hey, we were from the South. All right. And Ruth, where are you from? Los Angeles, and for a living you do? You sell children's clothing. Fantastic. Now, do your kids know about this? They do. Okay, all right, okay. Now, when I was young, we couldn't afford shoes. We used to paint our feet black and lace our toes together. That was it. Don't know how that came in there. But do me a favor. Name a card out loud, if you would, please. Name a card. 3 of diamonds. Keep going. We're real lucky over here. 3 diamonds. You're sure about that? 3 diamonds. That's so strange, because take a look. All the cards in here are face up. Every single card looking right back at you. But somewhere in here, if I'm lucky today, there's one card. It's going to be one of these days, isn't it? There's one card in here that's backwards. Don't worry, folks. It's a 12-hour show. We have plenty of time. There's one card in here that's backwards. You said the 3 of diamonds, did you not? The 3 of diamonds. See, we're just warming up, folks. And I'm glad you like that better, because it's the only trick I do. Over and over and over again until we go through each and every one of you. Now, you know what I like to do? I like to bring people up on stage, and I just randomly choose them from the audience. Just randomly choose the people from the audience based on this list given to me by Dr. Mark. And let's bring up Craig Levine. Craig Levine, where are you, sir? Where are you, Craig? Let's give him a big round of applause. He's at the head table. He's going to take just a second to get over here. Craig's wearing our money this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Strolling right up there. Looking lovely, sir. All right. Come on over here. We have a set of stairs here. There you go. That's a good way. What's that?
It's Sanella.
Sanella? Well, 2 people love that, too. That was good. Come on over here, sir. That was great. Hi there, Craig. What's your name?
Steve.
All right, good. Craig, what do you do for a living, sir?
Not much.
All right, a politician. Good. You know, we will slow down for the folks. Smile. No. All right, okay. No, what do you really do, sir?
Stock trader.
Stock trader. Okay, all right, I'll slow down. Here we go. Now, he chose you. All right, okay. We're going to do a card trick. Very simple little card trick. It's going to be real easy. I have another deck of cards, a little different from the first one. And all I need you to do is just go ahead and take a look at them. Each and every one of them are different. I'd like you to memorize their order. Good. You could, couldn't you? Yes. Here, just touch a card. Touch a card. Any card. Any card. Nope. The one with the X.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Yeah, we don't need that one. Yeah, we don't need that one. Thank you, sir, very much. Multifunctional, aren't you? All right, okay. That's good, sir. You got the best seat in the house, too. No food, but you got the best seat in the house. That's great. All right, we'll do this for real. By the way, how many people think magicians cheat? Show of hands. All right, how many of you think the hand is quicker than the eye? Oh, not as many. All right, let's check. Look, I know that's dumb. I realize that's dumb, but I guarantee one of you will do it at the office tomorrow. What'd you learn at the banquet? I was at the special table. All right, okay. Here we go. Go ahead, take one for real. Take one for real. Yep. Show it to the crowd. Don't show me. I don't want to see what it is. Hey, you want Copperfield, go to Vegas. All right? No, I cheated there. We don't want to do that. Don't do that, for real. It's on the bottom. Go ahead, take another one. Show it to everyone. Let them get a good look at it. I don't want to see what it is. I promise not to look. Well, obviously you're yelling out more inside jokes out there. Fantastic. All right, good. Here, free balloon animal for you. Do it yourself kit. All right, okay. All right. Hold that right there. Place it up against your heart. All right? Because what I'm going to do is figure out which card you selected using nothing but my mental telepathic abilities. All right? Here we go. I know what your card is. I do. I tuned in using my ESP in. All right. HD. $10 more a month and worth it. Here we go. I have a different deck of cards. You keep that card right there. I'm going to figure out which card you selected using this deck of cards, okay? Quite difficult for a magician to do. In fact, not normally performed by a magician in my price range. Perfect. I think I know which card you selected, so go ahead, take your card and place it back in the deck. Anywhere at all. Hey, they found me out on the marathon. All right, okay. Here we go. I'm going to attempt to find your card without looking. No, there's always someone goes, no. He's no good. Ha! Was this your card? Let me tell you how I did it. I don't normally reveal the secrets of magic tricks without wearing a mask and being on the Fox network. But wait, thank you. That was just for you, ma'am. You okay out there, lady? All right, okay. All right, here we go. When he stuck the, you're a he now. All right, okay. I don't know the history. All right, okay. When he stuck the card back in the deck, I secretly bent the corner. No, we're going to do something for real. We're going to do a real card trick, okay? Before I do, and we'll have a great finale on this one. Before I do, I want to let everyone know that oftentimes magicians are accused of cheating, okay? That's hurtful, that's painful, and quite frankly, I think it's wrong. What we do is an art, it's a craft, it's a science, it's a skill. And to say that we actually cheat is wrong. So I've shuffled the cards, Craig. Just that lady again. All right, okay. Here we go. You travel, ma'am? There we go. All right, here we go. They're all different. Take a look at them. I'm going to riffle through the deck. You just say stop, okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Sorry, yeah, I was a little too fast. I'm sorry. Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go. Good. Okay, second time. Perfect. Take a look at the cards. Show everyone. I will not look. I'm not looking at the monitors. I'm just seeing what's missing from the rest of the deck here. That helps me out. Okay, good. All right, take your card and place it back anywhere you want. Anywhere you want. Yeah. Wow, that was good. All right, you know what? For a bonus, we're going to do a second one. Do it again. Say stop. You got to say stop. That's it. You're just grabby, aren't you? Okay. Stockbroker. Go figure. All right, okay. All right there. That was the original. What's that? That was my original thought. Well, yeah, was that your thought? Yeah, I have no idea what your thoughts are. Show them to the card right there. So I've got 2 cards. I'm going to do 2 card tricks at the same time. Go ahead, put it back anywhere. I can't see anything. Take the cards, shuffle them up. Shuffle them up, mix them up. The first card, which is the second card you chose, actually. The second card you chose, I'm going to find using this highly powerful brain-sucking device. 7 highly powerfully focused laser beams. Boy, you're a pro, aren't you? Look at you go. You want some chips and a beer? All right, okay. Here we go.
I really like beer.
All right, whatever. Here we go. I'm now going to suck the contents of your brain. Was that side? Nothing. Don't mess up the hair. Tunk, tunk. Ch-ch-ch-chia. All right, okay. Here we go. Ha! I have now sucked the brain of you. It is now inside this highly powerful, technologically advanced $12 toy. I'm going to reveal the card that you selected. 7 of Hearts. Queen of Spades. 50 more. I messed up. Normally this thing works. It seems to be clogged up a little bit, unless, of course, you happen to choose the 3 of Clubs. Was that the card you selected? I can't see. You got to go where it's dark over there. Whee! I threw that in a bonus brain-sucking device. No, I got to find your card the hard way. Take those cards. Place them up against your heart, if you would, please. Get your fingers out of the way. Let me see the cards. I need to see the cards. Put them on the outside of your suit, if you would, please. All right? Because you stand right there. I come running at you full speed with a sword. All right? And I just thrust the sword right into the pack of cards. What's that? No, your wife doesn't mind. She paid me for this. Come on. All right. She doesn't mind. Well, all right. Here we go. Hold still. Ready? You're not looking good. Sue. I don't know. Are you yelling Sue or the suit? You want to save the suit, but yet throw a lawsuit in there. All right. We can do it both. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What? No, come on now. That's dangerous. I don't know. He was off to the side. He couldn't see, but I could see this. I don't want you having to look like that. No way. Don't worry. We're safe. Don't want to see you. What's that? Don't worry. I remembered it. All right. Okay. I want you to go ahead. We're going to wear a blindfold. No. It's for me. All right. They still want to see. All right. Okay. With this blindfold on, I'm unable to see anything at all. Right, Ruth? Ready to go. All right, she moved. Okay, here we go. Ready? Audience, drum roll, please. Do none of you own boats? All right, here we go. What's that? You're nervous. I'm nervous. This is the first time I've ever done this. All right. Here we go. All right. Ready? 1. Put them up against your heart. 2, 3. No, Craig, come on. That's dangerous. I didn't see any kids out there, but if there's kids out there, please do not try this at home. Do not try this at home. Go to a neighbor's house. All right? It's a legal thing. Give me the cards. You can stand back over there if you would, please, just off to the side. Do you remember your card by chance? You do remember your card. When I throw them up in the air, I want you to yell out your card with a nice, loud vocal sound, okay? Yell it out. You ready? Stay back just a little bit there, if you would, please. Yell it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What was your card? What was it? 4 diamonds, ladies and gentlemen. Right on the end of that sword right there, the 4 diamonds. Oh, yes. Let them hear you outside. Give Craig a big round of applause. You're a good sport, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Craig. No, I'll get him. No, Craig, I'm joking. I'm sorry, joke. Craig. Does this look familiar? Oh, no, it's mine. You have been fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm Chris Blackmore. Enjoy your evening. God bless you all. Drive safe home and watch out for the marathoners.
Let's hear it for Chris Blackmore. And let's hear it for Craig Levine. And now it is my pleasure to call upon our wonderful rabbinic fellow, who in such a short time made such a positive impact upon our Shulen community with his calm demeanor, vast knowledge, and great personality. Please welcome Rabbi Jason Weiner to make the presentation of our Young Leadership Award. Rabbi Weiner.
And the recipient of the Young Leadership Award goes to... No, actually, I always wanted to try that one. Okay, it's my real honor and actually a pinnacle of my rabbinic career to present the Young Leadership Award to Josh and Shirley Platt. And I know what you're all thinking. How fitting to be honoring Josh and Shirley so close to Purim. And indeed, you would be correct, but perhaps not for the reasons that you might have thought. You might have thought that we're honoring Josh and Shirley so close to Purim because of the creative and outlandish costumes that Josh is known for wearing. Whether it's the beautiful suit that he wore last year to the young couple's Purim party, or the suit that he wore the year before that got rave reviews, or maybe the suit that he didn't wear on the birthday cake, the picture cake that he made for his mother-in-law's birthday. Josh is known for his great, fantastic suits that everybody always enjoys. Maybe you're thinking it's simply the fact that Shirley puts up with Josh's suits that we're honoring them, but no, that's actually not the reason why we're honoring Josh and Shirley tonight. You might be thinking that the reason we're honoring Josh and Shirley tonight is because of the mitzvah of Matanos Levionim, the gifts given on Purim, reminiscent of Josh's high school years. Josh got detention very often in high school. But you see, it wasn't because he was getting in trouble. Josh actually enjoyed getting detention. And he became the president of the detention club. And when the teachers realized that he wasn't actually misbehaving, he was trying to get detention, they decided to try to stop him from getting detention. So they imposed a fine, $5 fine each time he would get detention. But Josh got the last laugh, because he would pay the $5 fine, but with 500 pennies. Teachers didn't appreciate it. He found his way out of detention very quickly. Actually, to understand why we're honoring Josh and Shirley, we have to understand the essence of Purim, and then we can really understand why it's so fitting to be honoring Josh and Shirley at Purim time. There's a famous question that's always asked around Purim: how could it be that most of the Jews of the world observe Purim on one day, on the 14th of Adar, whereas other Jews are observing Purim on the 15th of Adar? Shouldn't we have one Torah for the entire Jewish people? Rav Soloveitchik explains that at the time of the original Purim miracle, the people living in walled cities were actually not in any sort of danger from Achashverosh's plan to destroy the Jewish people. Only later did Mordechai decide that the entire Jewish people should recognize this miracle, even in the cities that were not threatened, because we should not divide up the Jewish people, but must care about the threat and salvation that happens to even those communities that we might think are not related to ours. We do not observe Purim on the same day because only those living in unwalled cities were safe. Unwalled cities would observe Purim on the 14th, because they were not safe. But still, even those living in walled cities had to observe Purim to show their unity with all Jews. The Rav goes on to suggest that at the same time as Mordechai decreed that all Jews should observe Purim, he also decreed the mitzvah of Matanos Levionim, of gifts to the poor. Because just like the fact that even those living in securely walled cities must rejoice and thank God for the salvation of the Jews who were vulnerable, this is exactly the reason for giving tzedakah to other Jews in need. For if anyone in a family needs something, we must all show concern and be there for them, ki'ish echad. And this is the essence of Purim: caring about others, being there for others, being a friend to everyone, even if they are ostensibly different than us. And this is Josh and Shirley Platt. In addition to putting up with all the exciting costumes, Shirley has a well-deserved reputation for being an exceptionally caring and respectful labor and delivery nurse at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica. I can't tell you how many people have told me how overwhelmed they were with Shirley's individual care, and in fact, I've seen it firsthand. When Lauren and I lived in New York, our daughter Kayla was born at New York Presbyterian Hospital in New York, and Shirley was there to care for us, even far before she had any suspicion that we would be a rabbi at her synagogue. Lauren and I commented even that night, we don't know what we would have done without her being there for us all the time. It even happened again. At one of our young couples events, Lauren cut her finger, and Shirley was there for her. Took her to the emergency room and stayed with her, making sure that she was cared for. Shirley shows that Purim-esque care for others every single day. And this is why so many people adore Shirley and call her one of their closest friends. Shirley's outstanding work at the hospital is reflected in her reputation in the community as well, where she is well known for hosting people at their home for Shabbat meals, particularly welcoming people who have just moved into the community. And Josh too. Josh works tirelessly on behalf of our 930 Minyan and young couples programming at the shul. He's always working to make it better and more welcoming, volunteering to help run programs or feed as many people as possible in his home or at his barbecues. As a rabbi, I realized very quickly that Josh is someone I can always look to when we need some help. And Josh doesn't just help with anything at the drop of a dime, he does it with a smile and with a happiness that's contagious. At a young age, Josh and Shirley are already constantly donating to the shul through sponsoring multiple kiddushes or hosting various other tzedakahs that they give to, such as their support for Shari Tzedek Medical Center in Jerusalem. Josh and Shirley have followed in the footsteps of their illustrious parents and combined to make one amazing couple. If the true theme of Purim is being there for others and being a friend for all, then there really is no one else like this couple, constantly having guests, welcoming new faces, and working tirelessly on behalf of the shul, which is why they have so many friends and are beloved by so many. The true definition of somebody who is a friend is somebody who really knows us and still, nevertheless, likes us. Josh and Shirley, we know you both, sometimes even a little bit too well, but in the end, that's why we love you so much. It's my pleasure now to call upon Rabbi Muskin, together with two of our co-chairs for this evening's dinner, Deborah and Stephen Bernstein, and Rachel and Alex Katz, to make the Young Leadership Award presentation to Josh and Shirley.
On behalf of the shul, we have chosen a special gift that reflects our collective appreciation for your special commitment to the shul.
This gift represents not only the fact that we're now celebrating the month of Purim, but in particular the fun-loving nature that both of you possess.
We are sure you will always remember and cherish this tribute dinner in your honor with a smile and wonderful memories.
The gift reads, Young Israel of Century City Young Leadership Award, presented to Josh and Shirley Platt.
So, Rabbi Weiner, thank you for the great eulogy. See that Rabbi Muskin has taught you well. Rabbi Muskin, Rabbi Weiner, our parents, family, Levines, Dr. and Mrs. Fox, friends, thank you. What were we thinking when the rabbi asked us to come to our apartment and meet with us? Did he want to speak to us about our Haftorah minyan, the chicken wings at our Kiddush, the Glenville Drive Motzei Shabbos minyan? Whatever it was, we couldn't say no to Rabbi Muskin. How naive we were. In any event, we're grateful it wasn't any of the above. We thank Hashem for allowing us to share in this honor with our parents, family, and friends, and we're sure our late grandparents, Zichronam Livracha, are also proud. Many years ago, my late grandfather, Sam Platt, laid the foundation for our family's role in the community, and in particular, the Young Israel movement. The dominant genetic trait, and no, it's not driving everyone crazy, has thus decided to express itself in me. Other than that, I really have no idea why I'm here. At the same time, I'm sure that many of my teachers at YULA cannot get over the fact that I'm being honored. And Rabbi Heyer, I'm sure you can attest to that as well. And we've learned from the past that being passive will not always allow for positive growth. And like our parents, Shirley and I have been afforded the opportunity to receive not by taking, but by giving of our time to help others. Just as my parents helped see Ovei Yisrael become YICC. Yes, that was our shul's name before it started as a small breakaway from Al's other shul. My mother's children was the attraction of those days, and by the way, Mark, my mother's still pissed off about the ladle. Today, I believe it's a sense of community, as well as our Haftorah minyan, that is an important source of comfort and enjoyment for the young couples. And we really seek to help make YICC and the entire Beverlywood community a better place for the young couples and the young alike. And once again, wife Shirley and I, we thank you very much.
Let's hear it again. Let's hear it for Josh's white dinner jacket. How was that? Josh, that was fantastic. I was at his bar mitzvah. He didn't speak that long at his bar mitzvah. And that was fantastic. I was in Ralph's on Pico and Beverwill, and I'm walking down one of the aisles, and there's an Asian woman, an Oriental woman, trying to get her child to put down this candy bar that he had picked up off the shelf. Johnny, you put that down. It's not kosher. So I said, boy, that's kind of bizarre. So I wanted to figure out, and I wanted to investigate. Excuse me, ma'am, are you Jewish? She says, no. So I said, why'd you say that? He says, why? Because I'm going to tell you why. Because every time I come to this market, I see all the Jewish mothers saying to their kids, don't pick it up, it's not kosher. And I figured I would try it too. Ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to enjoy your dinner tonight. Everything is kosher, even glatt kosher. Enjoy. We'll see you after dinner. Planning a beautiful banquet like this evening takes a lot of work and effort. I, of course, thank the entire banquet committee for all their efforts. I will not enumerate them, but they know who they are. And our honorees worked so hard to make this evening a success. What a pleasure to work with them. However, ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't do what we do without the help of our shul's administrator, Ms. Rebecca Jalali. We publicly thank Rebecca for all that she does. Rebecca, you're the best. Let's hear it. And a special shout out to Lou Groner of Lou Groner Photography, who's also a prominent member of our shul, for taking all of the wonderful pictures of tonight's gala. He's available for your simchas as well. Thank you so much, Lou. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to try something that's actually we haven't done before, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to have a live auction. We want you to bid on all the wonderful gifts that you've seen. Please welcome Roy Gamitian of the Great American Group, our celebrity auctioneer who will be conducting the auction.
My name is Roy Gamitian on behalf of Young Israel in Century City. Welcome you to the annual tribute dinner live auction sale 2008. Mr. Adam Reich asked me to come down and spend a few minutes with you folks tonight. And let's get up for Adam Reich. Thank you, Adam. Adam knows I'm a very, very busy guy. I've only got about 10 minutes to do this, and I got to head to the airport. So everybody give me a chance. We're going to, if everybody would do me a favor and open up their catalogs. We're going to be selling 8 items this evening. All right, who's got $500 for the diamond earrings and the watches? $500.
He's going to be auctioning Mafter Yonah next, and he's going to be with us on Simchas Torah also, so get ready.
We have another puppy, so we're doubling it. So Kim, where are you? Kim Chinovsky. You get one too. We're doubling it for your last bid. Fine, we'll give three. Nim and Chinovsky, so we triple it.
The miracle of Young Israel of Century City, where we can auction off one dog and give away three. I would like to personally thank our wonderful Madam Chairperson of the Board, Suzanne Schlanger, for all of her work, for tonight, for the auction, for the banquet, and also as being our Chairperson of the Board. She's the best. Real quickly, we would now like to darken the lights and ask that you please give your attention to the video screen. Would you all please pay attention to the video screen? Thank you.
I bet 25.
I'll make it 50.
I raise 100.
You know, you don't have to say 100. You can just say $1.
I know, but it sounds cooler.
Oh, by the way, guys,
Oh, yeah. I'll call.
Come on.
Shocker.
Well, it's a really quiet game. No one's yelling, screaming, no tearing up of any cards.
yeah, where is Craig anyways?
Levine, he has a weekly Shir at his house, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's on Wednesday nights. Tonight's Thursday night, so he's probably doing Tamchei Shabbos.
Again? That's the third time this month, isn't it?
That guy just gives and gives.
And his attitude is amazing. Always cheerful, always positive.
You ever hear him complain about how much he does?
Never. I heard last week he was delivering tomkei, dropped a big carton of food on his toe. I think he broke 2 of them. Never even complained.
Anyone else would have gone straight to the ER, but not Craig. He finished his deliveries, never said a word.
That's right, he finished his route in excruciating pain and never said a word about it.
Wow, great story. Who'd you hear it from?
And Craig,
No question about it. The guy's amazing. You know, he never went to college.
Really?
Self-made man. Went right to work right out of high school.
Smart.
Generous.
And very hairy.
when's he gonna get here anyways? We're better off that he's not here. Craig's an amazing poker player.
Much better than the rest of us.
Really? He's that good?
Just ask him. He'll tell you all about it. But doesn't he usually lose?
Yeah, but that's our fault. We don't play right.
Is that why he's always ripping up cards and storming out of here?
Look, he's just trying to teach us how to play. It's not his fault if we're too dumb to learn.
Like I said, the guy's a giver.
An optimist.
A ray of sunshine.
Enough already. We all know Craig is a great guy. Now we're going to play cards or we're going to just sit here and talk. I got to go home and write a drusha that Craig's not even going to listen to.
There it is. Flush, baby. Jack. Flush, Jack.
Let's hear it for all the stars of our show. You guys are great. A rabbi and his wife were cleaning up their house and the rabbi came across a box that he didn't recognize. His wife told him to leave it alone. It was personal. One day when she was out, his curiosity got the best of him. He opened the box, and inside he found 3 eggs and $2,000. When his wife came home, he admitted that he opened the box, and he asked her to explain the contents to her. She told him that every time he had a bad sermon, she'd put an egg in the box. He interrupted. 20 years, only 3 bad sermons. That's not bad. His wife continued. And every time I got a dozen eggs, I would sell them for $1 a dozen. It's my pleasure to introduce our rabbi to you. No, of course. This, of course, does not apply to our rabbi, who was known for his oratorical skills, or in his case, his Torah oracle skills. We are indeed fortunate to have with us the spiritual leadership that we have in the person of our Rav. He has imbued in each and every one of us a sense of spirituality, which transfers into each and every facet of our daily lives. It's not just what we hear and learn on Shabbos, but what we carry the spirit and the ethics of our Yiddishkeit with us day in and day out, regardless of our professions, regardless of who we are, or regardless where we go. He has taught us to make a positive impact on others outside of our communities, to Jews on the right, to Jews on the left, and to non-Jews as well. His tremendous involvement in the community, his caring for the poor, the sick, the widows, and the orphans are all shining examples of the path in which each and every one of us must follow. His love and concern for Eretz Yisrael, Am Yisrael, and Medinat Yisrael is evident to all who know him. His leadership in shul in every aspect of our congregation, whether administration, public relations, programming, or fundraising, has made our shul one that is the envy of congregations locally and nationwide. Just to see him do the fundraising for our shul is something which is amazing to behold. And once I heard a little girl was sitting in shul. This was on Yom Kippur, and she was getting restless. And Rabbi Muskin was making his Yom Kippur appeal, and it kept dragging on and on. Finally, the little girl leans over to her mother and says, "Mommy, if we give him money now, will he let us go?" His dedication to his Rabbanit and to his family is a pleasure to behold. He just celebrated his 22nd anniversary with us here at the Young Israel of Century City. Honestly, we never thought it would last so long. As hard as we try, he keeps staying here with us. Our community, though, is truly blessed. To present this year's Tribute Award, it is my honor and it is my pleasure to present our Mora d'Asra, the senior modern Orthodox rabbi in Los Angeles, Rabbi Elazar Muskin.
Thank you, Dr. Mark. I have never been introduced like that in my life. Would you please join me in thanking Dr. Mark for doing a wonderful job tonight, for being a shining star in our community, for being our Baal Tefillah on the Yomim Noraim, and taking care of everything that Young Israel needs. He's taught us, really, with Debbie, an example of leadership, and I can't thank him enough for that. Thank you, Dr. Mark, and thank you, Debbie. Last Monday, in the New York Times, there's a section that appears every Monday. It's called the Metropolitan Diary. And this time, they have a story, Craig, that's straight out of Jewish New York. And it is so typical of Jewish New York. It was written by a woman named Gloria Cohn. People submit stories to this Metropolitan Diary, and it gets published in the New York Times. Dear Diary, overheard and observed during my recent visit to the Jewish Museum on a Sunday afternoon in the galleries of the William Steig exhibition. A woman of 70 plus, very well dressed, is sitting alone on one of the sofas in the gallery. She's on her cell phone. A guard walks over to this lady and informs her that cell phones are not allowed in the museum. The woman looks up indignantly, and she becomes angry at the guard. And she says, "I'm not talking, I'm just listening." She continues on her cell phone. The guard, frustrated, walks away. Tonight, I just want you to listen. I want you to listen about two people who are as loyal as they come. Deep loyalty to friendships, to community, to our Beit HaKnesset. But how are we to really appreciate Craig and Esti? Their commitment, their devotion. How can we sum it up? Perhaps one lesson from the Torah that we've been reading over the past few weeks will give us an insight into Craig and Esti. Our Chazal, our sages of old, remarked that there were 3 items in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle, that were made in a unique fashion. Only 3. Of all the appurtenances, only 3 were made in the form called mikshah. Mikshah means hammering or beaten by hand. The 3 appurtenances were the menorah, the candelabra, the kruvim, angelic images that were on the top of the aron of the ark, and the chatzotzros, the trumpets that were used in the tabernacle. But why were these 3 items the only 3 chosen to be made b'mikshah, with this hammering, this difficult process? The rabbis tell us that the word mikshah comes from, of course, the shoresh, the root word kasher. It means difficult. It means tough. It means arduous. It implies a great deal of labor and commitment by the artist when he makes these items. In reality, this was so because these items, the menorah, the kruvim, and the chatzrotzros, represented symbolisms that require hard work. The menorah, our rabbis tell us, symbolizes much more than just illumination. It represents the illumination of learning. Torah fills the world with the light and the illumination of Judaism. And the lesson is that Torah knowledge can only be attained with mikshah, with arduous work. The second sacred object was the angelic figures that hovered over the aron. Our Chazal, our sages tell us, what were these angels hovering over their own? Demut partzuf tinok lahem. They looked like little children. Parents everywhere dream and desire of raising children that are going to have good values, raising children that will bring them nachas. Our Chazal teach us to have good children, mikshah. It requires a lot of hard work. And finally, the Torah tells us the silver trumpets were also made with mikshah process. The trumpets symbolized the unity of the community. The trumpets were used to gather us all together for moments of celebration. And if, God forbid, we had to stand against an enemy, the trumpets were used again. The message is evident. In all 3 situations, Torah education, raising well-rounded good children with proper values, and community solidarity takes a process of hard work and commitment. Esti and Craig appreciate this lesson. They understand it when it comes to education. They devote hours upon hours upon hours to Hillel Hebrew Academy, devoting time, energy, and generous financial support to make Hillel an outstanding school. This is also why, when we turned to Esti and to Craig, and we said, we want to memorialize Esti's mom in a creative fashion. And we came up with the Torah on Web project, where shiurim could be heard on the web. Immediately, Craig and Esti adopted that project, and it's in memory of Mrs. Appel, Aleh HaShalom. When it comes to parenting, Emily, Sophia, and Jordan are the proof of mikshah, of good parenting, of devoted parenting. Their lives revolve around their children, and there isn't anything they will not do for their kids. They learned this from their homes, from their parents. Esti learned it from her mother and her father, Zichronam Livracha. And Craig, you learned it very well from your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Levine, who are here to celebrate with you. They're model parents, and they taught you well, and you learned the lesson well. But finally, when it comes to community, Esti and Craig serve as our leaders. 12 years ago, and most of you don't know this, 12 years ago, I called up, they were a young new couple in the community, not members very long in the shul. And I called up for a meeting. We were then doing our capital campaign to expand our building. Drew Parker was president at the time. Drew joined me. We went over to see Craig and Esti. We needed a gift, a serious gift, so we could make the shul happen. Not only did they immediately give a generous gift, but Craig said, Rabbi, I'll go with you to others. I'll help you fundraise. And yes, we'll make that dream become a reality. It explains how both Esti and Craig have served on our board and how Esti has served as chair of our Mishloach Manos project. It explains how they take pride in our shul and our community, and all of their friends know, every one of us know, their commitment to their Beit HaKnesset, to their synagogue, is genuine, and you can't challenge it. And they're there for the shul. So tonight, we've gathered to say thank you. Thank you, Esti and Craig, for living the ideals of Miksha, the hard work that it takes to fashion a menorah, that it takes to fashion kruvim, and that it takes to fashion chatzrotzros. Because in your lives, and in the lives of your family, this is the rule that really reigns. And for that and so much more, I want to say thank you. I know, Esti, Craig, you really didn't want to accept this honor. But you did it because you're loyal to our shul. And it was Miksha. And on behalf of everybody tonight, I say thank you. Thank you from the depths of our heart. Thank you for everything, and Mazel Tov. It's my pleasure at this time to call upon our co-chairs of the dinner to make the very special presentation to our tribute honorees, to Esti and to Craig. I call upon Steve and Lisa Kirschenbaum, David and Marnie Nagel, Adam and Carol Reich, Alan and Dorit Teichman, and Dr. Kevin and Suzanne Schlinger. Esti, Craig, would you please come forward?
Good evening, everybody. We have chosen a gift that reflects both our great esteem and love for you and appreciation for all that you have done for our shul and our community. We have chosen a unique silver Shabbat and Havdalah set made by an Israeli artist. In this gift, you will find everything you need for the celebration of Shabbat from beginning to end. You will find Shabbat candlesticks, Kiddush cup, Havdalah candle holder, and Besamim box, all uniquely made into one item. This special piece of silver Judaica represents our admiration for you as outstanding parents and leaders in our community. Your commitment to Torah and mitzvot is best projected in your celebration of Shabbat in both your home and in our shul. Our hope is that you will remember this tribute dinner every Shabbat for years to come, and you will be blessed to celebrate many more smachot with all of us in good health and happiness. Mazel Tov, Esti and Craig. The plaque reads, Young Israel of Century City Tribute Award presented to Esti and Craig Levine, March 2nd, 2008, 25 Adar 1st, 5768. Elazar R. Muskin, Rabbi. Seth Berkowitz, President.
be the man.
Okay. Most of my friends know that they had to stay late tonight because I'm counting who left. They all know. What's that? Is that table 14 back there? I can't see. I'm getting a little old. No, just kidding. 30. You think I'm kidding? Rabbi. First of all, thank you, Rabbi. But Rabbi, it's payback time. If you want to leave now, I understand. I'm sure you're all shocked, as I am, that I am standing up here as the honoree for Young Israel. Esti, you can understand, but me, no way. If my high school teachers can only see me now. Sorry, Josh, I copied you. But it's true. I would like to congratulate George and Grace Fox with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you for all you do for the shul. Josh and Shirley Platt, wow. Was this the only way to get Larry to show up? He's like a little brother. I need to give a special thanks to our friends for chairing this dinner. The Teichmans, Reiches, Kirschbaums, and Nagels. You really went over and above to make this a successful dinner. For the record, when you get honored, no need to reciprocate. Our president, Seth Berkowitz, our rabbi, Rabbi Muskin, and all of the other volunteers who helped out. Mark Goldenberg, our MC and leader, and the two hardest working women in Hollywood, our chairwoman, Suzanne Schlanger, and Rebecca Jalali. When asked to be the honorees, Esti and I first said no. We didn't want to be in the spotlight, and didn't want to inconvenience our friends and family. But after pondering for 3 weeks, we said, how can we say no to Rabbi Muskin and to Young Israel Century City? The rabbi has never said no to us and has always been there for us in good times and most importantly, during rough times. This shul is a home away from home. We have been members here for almost 15 years. Our children grew up here. This shul is part of our family. Both our daughters, Emily and Sophia, were bar mitzvahed here, and in 4 years, God willing, our son Jordan will be bar mitzvahed in Young Israel of Century City. We have made great friends here. Our children have made friends, and week in and week out, you can always count on the Young Israel being there for you. Yesterday's parsha of YICC, which means to gather, to congregate, talks about Shabbos, building of the Mishkan, and about Moshe who gathered all the Jews, not just some Jews. This is what Esti and I have been taught from our parents, and our lived our lives around these three things. Shabbos. Every week we saw our parents prepare and get ready. Both our fathers would go every Friday night and early Saturday morning to their shuls. Shabbos is a time for family, friends, and to be part of a community, and we are so lucky to be part of this one. We were taught how to gather Jews together. Our parents always helped unfortunate people, taking poor people in and helping them in time of need. The building of the Mishkan is something that we can relate to and something that was instilled in us at a young age. Esti's parents helped build and support Rabbi Adler Shul for over 40 years. My parents helped build the Young Israel of Canarsie from a basement to a flourishing shul. My dad was president for 8 years, Seth, only 6 to go. So for Esti and I, help building and supporting Jewish organizations has come easier to us because of our upbringing. This shul to us is like the Mishkan and should be to everyone here. This is a shul that is always open and helped raise all our children. This has been such a special night for many reasons. But without great friends that have come out and have supported us tonight, this would not have felt the same. Our dear friends surprised us from New Jersey, Shirley, Noam, and Shelley. Our friends here that worked so hard for this night to come out special, and truly all of you deserve this award along with us. The main reason we accepted this honor was that our kids could see us as Esti and I saw our parents. We want them to know how important it is to be part of a shul and to give your time and, if possible, financial help when the time comes. I wanted my sister, who flew in with her son Zach this morning from New York, to be proud of her little brother. I want all of Esti's family to be proud of their baby sister. I wanted my parents to see their little boy has followed in their footsteps of giving and being part of the Jewish community. I wanted to see that all that hard work and sacrifice has paid off. Finally, I must thank Esti for standing beside me and helping me reach my goals in life, and most importantly, raising our children in the true Torah way. Esti is involved daily in our kids' school. She has chaired the dinners, she helps the PTA, and she's always there, as most people know here, at the beck and call of whoever needs her, and most importantly, of her children. Esti has been a board member of the Young Israel and is my right hand. On behalf of Esti and I, we thank all of you here. This night is what it's all about: family, friends, and community. Thank you.